Athletes are always trying to gain an advantage, and we have done it through training and we've done it through nutrition from the very beginning. So the purpose of caffeine or taurine is to get you pepped up a little bit, makes you more focused, whatever. That's the idea behind it. And athletes have always looked at ways to do that. How can you get yourself to be at the epitome of preparation so that you are attentive? The problem with these drinks is that it can accelerate to the point where it may take away from your performance. It may not make you as sharp as you think you are, as well as it may have an effect on physiological functioning. Because we're not, how much alcohol is in it, how much caffeine is in it, what kind of enhancers are in it. So athletes using it, I don't think is necessarily different than what they've done always in the past, trying to gain advantage. The problem with it is if an institution or an organization wants to get rid of it, they're going to have to ban it. And then they're going to have to test for it in some way. And the problem with testing for caffeine is that it's in so much of the stuff that we drink, from Diet Pepsis to coffee to whatever, and what are acceptable levels to it. So I don't know that using caffeine is an issue, but it becomes an issue if it becomes a detriment to health and if it gives too much of a boost to competition. If it's against the rules of the organization, then of course the athlete has a legitimate gripe. But how are you going to test for it on the spot, right? You're going to say, cheater, cheater. You're going to call them on that before you do the competition. Or do you respond afterwards and get on their stand and say something about it? I think that the athlete's response is going to have to be, do I want to compete today or do I not want to compete? Do I want to make a stand against it or not make a stand against it? And push the authorities to do something with it. And I think majority of athletes they're going to compete. They're going to go ahead and do the competition. It seems to me that if Red Bull is becoming a real issue, that organization is going to have to evaluate much more thoroughly what's going on with these supplements. And supplements are a problem because we don't seem to monitor them as well as we should, and we're not quite sure what's in it. And so the implication is that they're getting, like a pep pill to go out there. So the organization is going to have to be involved in trying to intervene in some way. Whenever anyone thinks somebody else is cheating, it devalues the experience, most certainly. If you think someone's cheating and they beat you because they cheated, then it's going to devalue the experience. Well, you don't like to see athletes, cheater, cheater, pants on fire, liar, liar, whatever. You don't like to see athletes doing that. Being a member of that age group between the 1960s, I do believe in free speech and I do believe in civil disobedience. I think it's an important part of who we are. At the same time, it becomes almost comical to see it going on within the application of it, but it also takes away from the competition of what really occurred. What's telling us is that the athletes are responding to something they think is not being dealt with. And they don't know how else to get their point across, and so they revert to this to make people listen, that there is an issue. In the case that's quoted here, they did talk with the coaches, and so it did come to light. Supposedly nobody used it, but it came to light, so it becomes an issue, and I will bet in further discussions it will be important. Well, so the athletes should take first responsibility, obviously, if they're not supposed to be taking it, and they're still taking it, but they probably need some education from the coaches and from the organization to sit down with the athletes and talk to them about Red Bull and whatever other stuff is out there. I think Red Bull's probably one of the tamer ones of the stuff that you could get for enhancing your cognitive acuity along the way.